We hear the word consent all the time, but what is it?
Consent is giving permission for something to happen or an agreement to do something.
Sexual consent means freely agreeing to a sexual activity.
Giving consent doesn't have to be complicated or need a formal written agreement. It can be as simple as saying, yes, I like that.
Sex should be fun and pleasurable for all people involved, so it's good to discuss your likes, dislikes, and what you're happy doing before you engage in any sexual activity.
Remember, you can withdraw consent at any time during sex if you want to stop.
If you're unsure if someone is consenting, it's simple, just ask.
In the Sexual Offences Act of 2003, a person must have the freedom, capacity and choice to consent to sexual activity.
Freedom means they are not under pressure, physically or emotionally, to have sex.
Capacity. If someone does not have the mental capacity or they are under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs, then they are unable to understand.
Choice. They are able to say no if they wanted to.
Sometimes people feel pressured into giving consent because they've been pestered, intimidated or faced physical or emotional threats.
Due to this, they are unable to consent, as consent needs to be given freely.
The age of consent to any form of sexual activity is 16 for everyone, regardless of gender or sexual orientation.
youngandfree.org.uk can tell you more about consent and the law.
If you are feeling pressured into giving consent, the person is not respecting you.
It's okay to say no.
Consent to sexual activity can be verbal things like saying yes, I like that, do that again, that feels good, and I like it when you, as well as making pleasurable sexual noises.
Reading people's body language, non-verbal cues, is another way to check for consent. For example, they could make direct eye contact, be smiling, pull their partner closer, nod their head, or actively respond to touch.
If someone is not physically resisting or verbally refusing sexual contact, you cannot assume that they are giving consent.
You will not be ruining the mood if you ask for consent or ask what activity your partner would like to do. Don't assume you know.
Talking to each other about what you want keeps you both happy and safe.
There are many ways to indicate that someone's not consenting to sexual contact. If someone is not consenting, they might say no, stop, or I don't want to.
If someone doesn't say no, that doesn't mean that they are saying yes.
Look out for non-verbal signs such as being silent, turning away from you, pushing you away, lying still and not joining in, avoiding touching and not touching you back.
Remember, if you are unsure, stop and ask.
If someone says no or tells you to stop, you must stop what you are doing or you will be breaking the law.
If someone is asleep, unconscious, drunk or high, they cannot give consent.
If someone consented to sex when they were awake, but they fall asleep or pass out, you have to stop.
Bodies can react to physically being touched, even when someone does not want to be involved in sexual activity. If someone has an erection, it does not mean that they are consenting to sex.
You have to get consent each and every time you engage in sexual activity, even if you have had sex before.
Even if you are in a committed relationship, you still have the right to say no to sexual activity and have to give consent. Before you engage in any sexual activity, know what you want and don't want. This will make it easier for you to consent.
Proper consent is an enthusiastic yes, not an absence of no.
Sex should be free from pressure and full of pleasure.